Hi, and welcome to the Breakthrough Emotional Eating podcast. My name is Kristen Jones, and thank you so much for joining me again this week. If you are a regular attendee of our podcast, and especially if you listen to them either live in the Breakthrough Emotional Eating community on Facebook, or if you are just listening to it as a recording, I always appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your support and your love and just for listening, because it's, there's a lot of stuff vying for your attention. And I appreciate when you come and you spend just a few minutes learning some crazy new stuff. So again, thank you so much for being here. Today is kind of a different podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something. Usually I try to talk about things that are more, on using air quotes, timeless. And this is going to be actually something that is very date specific. So in my Breakthrough Emotional Eating community, we are starting a challenge on September 13th. By the time any of you hear this, the challenge is going to be over. But I wanted to give you a little bit of insight, and there is a way for you to kind of relive the challenge, because one of the things that I'm going to be doing is on this challenge in particular, I have a couple of them already done, but I'm going to archive this this challenge, meaning that I'm going to save all of the posts, not the prep posts, but all of the posts that actually are a part of being in the challenge. So I can put that in the guide section. And so people can do it anytime they come into the group. They can run this challenge on themselves, or they can do this on themselves. So I'm really excited about it. So what is the challenge about? So let me back the truck up for just a second. So ordinarily, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I forgot to say, if you are not a member and you would like to become a member of the Breakthrough Emotional Eating community, please find us www.facebook.com/groups/food breakthrough. Back to it. One of the things that I always try to do as one of the admin in this group is I really try to hear and to listen and to respond to things that I see, trends that I see that are happening in the group when it comes to how people are feeling, living, acting. And I only get that because I from reading the posts. So I'm able to see like what people are saying, how other people are responding, the different things that are coming up for people who are members of this group. And far and away in the last month, I would say, it has been so apparent that there are a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of people. And when I say this, you can take it any way you want, because we know when people say stuff, our brain is going to tell us some things about it. Sometimes it might not be the things that we really want to hear. It might be the worst case scenario. It might be a bad thing, but I do just want you to hear what I'm saying. The things that I'm hearing people talk about when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to emotional eating, is leading me to believe that it's good news. Every single person in this group is human, and a single person in this group, to a certain degree, has erroneous thinking, has errant thinking that is not doing them any good. It's not working in your favor. It's not helping you move towards your goal. If your goal is to manage emotional eating, if your goal is to lose the weight that you want to lose, your thinking is the biggest reason that you are not there. Okay. You have not reached your goal. You are not there. You're not even moving in the right direction. It all comes down to your thinking. And I am not talking about positive thoughts. I'm not talking about like, ooh, that's a bad thought. Oh, wait, let me think something positive. That's going to make it better. No, not talking about that. That is absolutely the antithesis and the exact opposite thing of what I want any of you to think about. When I talk about thoughts and about your thoughts, it is really, really important to make sure that you are acknowledging these thoughts, and then you're deciding, do I want to keep the thought? And we know when we're keeping a thought because we keep repeating it and we keep saying it out loud. and we write it and post it in Facebook groups. Or when somebody asks you a question, you say, yeah, but I have blank, 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 blank. I have this medical condition. I have this problem. I have this, whatever, that my husband, my kids, my dog, something that this is the reason why I'm addicted to sugar. All of these things, all of these thoughts that we have going on, they are not helping you when it comes to you moving forward and reaching your goals. And it's not just about weight, it's about every part of your life. If you have, so I'm going to use a different example. If you have a difficult relationship with someone, not saying it doesn't even have to be your significant relationship, it's just a difficult, challenging relationship. We all have them. I can think of one person off the top of my head. Difficult, challenging relationship. We all have them. And the more we think and the more we say to ourselves, man, that person is so hard to get along with. The more you say that, the harder they are going to be to get along with. We set ourselves up. We condition our brains to respond and to find proof that we're right. So when I say I have this challenging relationship with this particular person and they just drive me nuts, my brain is like, oh, right on, let's go. It's on now. And so everything my brain does is looks for every single piece of evidence that can show me that this person does drive me crazy. And they do make it difficult for me to be nice to them, or for me to even be around them. I shouldn't say being nice to them. I'm just being around them. So it will try to prove me right. Like, oh no, Kristen, we're going to prove you right. We're going to show you all the things. That doesn't do me any good because it makes me feel terrible. And when I feel terrible, I don't do very smart things. So it's really important to make sure that we remember that our thoughts we create, we get the control, we get to have a say in what happens, what thoughts we create, what thoughts we keep, and what thoughts we continue to have. Now, I'm going to make sure that you all know that for a lot of us, we've been having a lot of these kinds of thoughts for a long, long time. And those thoughts are not going to go away. They're not. They're not going to go away. Right now, the thoughts that you've been carrying around about yourself, how you look, what you think about yourself, how you feel about your weight, how you feel about your body, how you feel about any relationships that you have. Those thoughts have been with you for a really long time, and they've dug some pretty deep grooves into your brain. And they're going to keep repeating, and they're going to keep repeating, and they're going to keep repeating because they've been doing it for what, 40, 50, 60 years? That's not going to go away. But what's going to happen is you are going to learn a better way to respond and to then not have the instance of those coming up as frequently as they have been in the past. So what does that all mean for you? So let me explain how kind of the premise, not just the premise of the challenge, but also kind of the premise of these thoughts. So we always have to remember, if we aren't getting the results that we want in our lives, so if we aren't getting the results that we want in our lives, we have to take responsibility for it. We each individual. And then we have to look at, instead of looking at anybody else, we look at what are the thoughts that I'm creating that's making me feel a certain way, that's impacting the actions that I'm taking. And that then impacts my results. If I'm not getting the results I need to go back and start back at the beginning. What are my thoughts? What are the thoughts that I'm creating? And so that's kind of what we're gonna look at. So we call these thought errors. Okay, thought errors is what we call them. And they are thoughts that create unwanted desire and unwanted actions to happen. I have notes, you all, and I really can't see very well right now. So I'm going to struggle with my eyes here to make sure I can read. The most common thought errors that I have been hearing in the group, I'm going to read them to you. The most common thought errors I've been hearing over the past probably month is, and this is actually, it's not even the last month. This is like probably since I started the group. Number one, I'm addicted to sugar. If you've said any of these, no shame, no shame on that game. You didn't know. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Just know that's a thought that you may be wanting to work on in the challenge. So number one, I'm addicted to sugar. Number two, I can't eat carbs. 3, my job causes me stress. 4, I have, in parentheses, insert medical condition. So it is so hard to lose weight. 5, I have no control of myself at night. I eat everything in sight. Number 6, losing weight is so hard. And number 7, my husband and kids don't support me. All of those are thought errors. And if you've had any of those or any kind of variation of that, you are putting yourself in a position that you are not. One, you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel good about your life, but you're not going to be able to move past where you want to be, because that's all your brain keeps hearing. You keep saying those things and saying those things and saying those things. Oh my gosh, it's like a broken record, and it just keeps playing. The volume gets turned up way too loud, and that's all you hear. So we've got to balance out the volume. We got to bring the volume of that thought down. We've got to bring up the volume of a better thought, of a thought that's going to serve your life. So, what you say to yourself matters. We all know that. But really, what you say to yourself matters because it gives your brain direction. And that's anytime throughout the day, it gives your brain direction. But too many times people are directing themselves to places that they really don't want to be, and directing themselves into exactly the situation that they want to move away from. Now, I want to preface, I want to actually insert disclaimer right here. Please listen. No one here is broken. No one here needs to be fixed. We all just have never been told this is how you're supposed to think. This is how, when your brain says something, you get to say no. You get to say no. My girls that work with me in the membership, in Jumpstart, in my one-on-one program, they know your brain has the first thought, but you have the second thought, and you get to override. You get to say, no, that's not how we're thinking. But people don't know that until today. Some people do know it, but not that many. And I want to share it with as many people as I can, because it changes the whole trajectory of your life when you realize that a thought comes into your head, and it could be a really fabulous thought that you want to keep, or it could be a horrible thought about another person. You can just, no, I'm not thinking that. That's not how I think. I don't think that way. You get to decide in those moments. And it's like, that's super powerful. That is amazing, because when you decide that you're going to think something different, and it doesn't mean necessarily that it's a positive thought, it's just a different thought. You can choose to keep yourself in a place and repeat those patterns that you've continued to have, or you can choose to think something else, and you get to decide. That's the cool part. But that self-talk that we're having, those things that we're complaining about them, and we keep saying them, and we keep saying them, and we keep saying them. Yeah, that's just driving them home even more and more and more. I heard a really cool explanation of this. Envision a hill of sand. So envision a hill of sand, and you have a marble at the top of the hill of sand, and you let the marble roll down the sand. The first time, little bit of an impression, little bit, you're going to see a little bit of a groove. You keep doing it over and over and over, and that little marble gets to roll down. Every single time it rolls down, it gets more ingrained. It gets more of a regular path that it's going to follow all the way down to the bottom. Even if it doesn't want to go down to the bottom, when it gets released at the top, it's going to follow that exact path. And that's what your thoughts do. But you can bring other thoughts in and turn the volume down on this one thought and have there be another thought, another way of thinking that can be way more powerful. And you can actually help yourself ingrain a new groove and a new path for you to take. Called neuroplasticity, and it is 100% real. It is 100 based on science. It is all about how our brain works. And so that's super exciting. And that is what I want to teach you in the challenge. But before we get to that point, I'm gonna have to pull this up because I have to really see it closely. I need a commitment. I need a commitment. I am all about commitment. I need a commitment. And I want that commitment from everyone who wants to participate in the challenge and wants to learn something. And I really would like the commitment, even if you don't want to participate in the challenge and you just want to be a part of this group. I'd really love for everyone to be working on this all the time. And here is the commitment that I want you to think about. So I'm going to imagine I'm putting my hand down on my desk. I'm going to put my hand up like I'm swearing on a Bible. So here is the commitment that I want you to make. From this point forward, I will take full responsibility for my life and the results that I have in my life right now. I understand it is my thoughts that have gotten me where I am, and I commit today to changing my thoughts so they can serve my life in a positive way. I accept that I am solely responsible for improving my life, and it starts today with my thoughts. Boom, there you go. Mic drop. That's really the commitment that I want you to make. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not any person's fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's not, grandma's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's your thoughts, and you get to change them, and you get to change them starting today, even before this challenge, because I just dropped a whole lot of nuggets on you. So you get to, but participating in the challenge is going to do so much for your ability to be able to understand and to be able to relate to how powerful your thoughts are. I think, I know some of you are probably sitting there and you're rolling your eyes like, yeah, tell us what to eat. Tell us what to eat, and tell us how much exercise to do. And what happens when we want to emotionally eat? Well, I'm going to tell you, I can't do any of that if you don't understand your thoughts. If you don't understand how your thoughts work and you don't have a grasp on managing your thoughts, there is nothing I can do to help you. Could I help you lose weight? Sure. Can I help you keep it off? No, not unless you get that. You're not going to, unless you really get that. It is not about eating healthy. None of it. It is about you and your thoughts. And I am, again, not talking about positive blow smoke up my own rear end thoughts. We've got to lean into the bad, got to be okay with it. But we cannot continue to sabotage ourselves. So what is this challenge all about? All right. So, and again, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, the challenge will have already been over by the time you hear this, but that's okay, because you can come into the group and the challenge will be in the guides, and you will be able to do it as you like in your own free time, and get as much out of it as you want. So the challenge is a 3-day challenge. I have a form. There is a form in the group. It's a Google form. It's called Breakthrough Your Thinking. And if you just search for Breakthrough Your Thinking in the group, it'll take you to one of the form will be one of the options for you to click on. It's a 3-day challenge. Starts on Monday, the 13th. There is nothing that you need to do ahead of time. There's no food, there's no tea, there's no special concoction, nothing like that. Okay. This is all you and that lovely little sponge between your ears. So the first day, day 1, that'll be Monday. I'm going to ask you, and I will go into much greater detail, but I'm going to ask you to figure out what is your most pressing thought error that you have. Now, I hate to tell you all, we don't just have one. we probably have about 5,000, but probably more than that. But I want you just to pick one. What's the thought error that keeps coming back and keeps sabotaging you and keeps getting you to trip up and to fall and to be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. So what's that thought error? I want you to think. That's what we're going to look at on day one. You're going to figure out what is my most pressing thought error and how is it impacting my life in a way that I do not want it to impact it. Day two, you're going to you're going to recognize, you're going to start to listen for how often that thought comes into your head, how often you say it. And what I will tell you is you will be shocked and appalled at how automatic, like you can't even help it. You can't even stop it. That thought will come out. And I'm going to give you a strategy for what you do after that thought comes out. We don't just stand there and go, huh, that's interesting. Oh no, we got lots to say. There is lots to say right back to it if you want to get that thought pattern to change. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what that thought pattern looks like. And then finally on day three, and again, you'll be practicing this. This is not a one-time thing because girls, that thought is going to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. And then some more and then some more and then some more. In fact, I hate to tell you, the thought's never going to go away. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. So if it is if you're looking for like the absolute, like, I want this done, sorry, I'm not the person. I'm not the person. I can tell you exactly how to manage it, but not to get rid of it. These thoughts don't go away, but you will absolutely learn how to combat it and come back to it and just kind of like, I don't know, push it away, put it up against the wall. All right. Number three, the third day, you are going to then create based upon your thought error. And then kind of what we do on day two, you're then going to start to create, because we're now going to we're not just going to wait for those thoughts to come in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start building ourselves with the thoughts that we want to have. Because right now you probably have thoughts going through your head about your ability to lose weight, your ability not to eat, not to eat emotionally. And that has to stop. That has to stop as much as you can control it. What you get to do, you get to make those decisions. Your brain's going to fire stuff at you all the time. You've got to make some decisions about how you want to respond and how you want to think. So on day three, you're actually going to do some preemptive. So beforehand, you're going to do some preemptive work on your thoughts, and you are going to put yourself in the best possible position for that day and every day after it to keep those thoughts that are not serving you from coming in and ruining your day. Because we don't want that. We don't want that to happen. We can let it happen, but we're not going to. So that really is the plan. The plan is we're going to pick a thought. We are going to learn a strategy of what we do when that thought comes in. And then we are going to create some preventative work that we can do to prevent those thoughts from being quite so dominant in the way that they probably are right now. So I would love to answer some questions on that. And again, it is all about, and I really cannot impress upon you enough how significant your thoughts are when it comes to losing weight. I just know so many of you are sitting there thinking, just tell me what to eat. Just tell me what to eat. And I hate to tell you, I'm not going to. And that's not what you need to learn. This is the hard stuff. This is the stuff that most people don't want to learn. Okay. All right. Do we have any questions? I can barely see, but let me see. Repeat 5 and 6. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Missy. I didn't see that. Repeat 5 and 6. Let's look. Let me flip back. 5, Missy, is I have no control of myself at night. I eat everything. And 6 is losing weight is so hard. Okay. All right. Can I give an example of a thought process? So a thought error. So Carol, no, sorry, that's Christine. Oh, Christine, hi, girl. Of a thought process. So you mean like a thought error? So a thought error would be something that a thought that repeatedly comes into so So here's one that I was like, this is a sneaky one. This is you step on the scale, or no, this is not step on the scale. This is like you have your lunch and you've eaten to satisfied, and you're like, oh, I ate to satisfied, I stopped, I'm moving on. And then all of a sudden, there comes that thought. Well, I sure hope you can do it at dinner. Hope you don't ruin the day. Remember, you got that party tomorrow. Better not mess this up. So it's that you come in with one positive thought and then you get like backslided with another, with a negative thought that wants to kind of undermine what that other thought is. So we have to be very aware of truly what do our thoughts come in? How do our thoughts actually present themselves? Especially when we do something well, when we do something good, that can actually be harder to catch. Like, ooh, I don't know if that's a I don't know. I think, sometimes people will be like, oh no, I think that's a good thought, because I said, I'm doing really well. Then you come around with that, but I hope you don't screw up. So we've got to catch those ones. We've got to catch those. It's like that backhanded compliment. Again, sorry, I can't see very well. Oh yay, I'm so glad you made it. All right. Let me look here. What is the thought? Oh, wait, Sherry, what's your what if the thought? Hold on a second. What if the thought is not obvious to me? Then I want you to pick one that's obvious. I want you to pick one like just think about what is a thought that is not serving your life, and how is that, and pick that one, because there's like thousands of thoughts that are thought errors. There's thousands of things that we think that are not serving our lives and that are keeping us from getting where we want to be. So just pick one that you can't, because there's not just one. It's not like you're going to pick the wrong one. Just pick one. On the beginning of the 13th. Oh, no. So Billy, what I said was my podcasts don't get released until Wednesday. So this podcast will not get released until next Wednesday. And so the challenge will already be over. So for anyone who just listens exclusively on the podcast, that's what I meant. I'm sorry, it wasn't clear. Okay, so I give that. Hi, everyone. Do. 5 was Tammy Franklin. I just said it. 5 was I have no control. I have no control over myself at night. I eat everything in sight. My vision has just gotten so bad. I need Oh, Sarah, you and me both, girl. I'm telling you. Okay. Oh, okay. I like that, Betty. Yeah, it's very, very easy. Very, very easy to do that. Okay. Got some old hellos. Hello. Billy, what do you mean? When is the program on? Do you mean like when does it start? I'm not quite sure that one. Um, okay. I think we're good with that. We're talking about Dancing with the Stars, so I've got to move forward. Okay. All right. Let me look. Yes, distorted. Yes, Christina, distorted thoughts not based on fact. Yes. Do we need to watch the video live, or will it be recorded to watch later in the day? Great question. Oh yeah, that just so you know, I'm going to go live every evening of the challenge. So I'll go live on Sunday before Monday, so you are prepared for Monday. I will go live Monday night for Tuesday for Wednesday, and then Wednesday will be kind of the wrap up. So I will be, oh my God, I'll be live 4 times next week. Oh, you guys are going to just be so tired of me. Yeah, we'll be live for 4 days. So that'll all be, and they stay in the group. I mean, they stay in the feed, so you can find them there. So no, you do not need to watch them live, but you do need to watch them before the day. Yes, feels like you're playing mental volleyball at times. That is such a good point, Sarah. That's an awesome point. Yes. So is there a video on Monday or email? Great question, Julie. No, on Friday, there is going to be a video, and I will email it, and I will also post it in the group. So you'll have two different ways of receiving it: email and post it in the group. So if you haven't gotten an email, there were sometimes people don't write their emails down correctly. So there were I think the last time I checked, there were 156 people who had filled out the form, and when I put those into my my email, only 141 of them, 145, no, 141 only got sent out. So that means there's probably maybe 12 to 15, probably 15 people who might not have gotten the email. It was just announcing today's thing. That's why I'll post it in the group as well. Okay. Where again do we fill out the form? Joanne, I think you did. It was I posted it in the group. I posted it in the Breakthrough Emotional Eating group. And Joanne, I'm almost positive I saw your name. So, can I repeat the commitment? Thank you for saying that, Debbie. I will do that. Okay. What will you be on next week? Oh, next week. Next week, I'll be on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I will tell you what time that'll be in the email, and I'll announce that. I'm figuring it'll probably be about this time. So, because this works out with my teaching. Okay, I'll get back to the commitment. I promise. Oh, we're done. That's it. Good deal. Yeah, I didn't know what that was either, Julie. Missy's being secretive. Okay, so yeah, so the commitment. Let me read the commitment one more time. See if I can do this. So the commitment is, from this point forward, I will take full responsibility for my life and the results I have. It is my thoughts that have gotten me where I am, and I commit today to changing my thoughts so they serve my life in a positive way. I accept that I am solely responsible for improving my life, and it starts today in my thoughts. There you have it. Okay. So that is that. So again, if you are like, I don't understand what she's talking about this challenge, it's totally fine. I will redirect. I'll do another post as soon as we get off here. I'll put another post and put the link for the form if anybody wants to fill that out, and then you'll get on the email list, and you'll be a part of the email that'll go out. I'll also post the information in the group too. Okay. All righty. Yeah, lots of people. Absolutely. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I want to let you guys all go. I've yammered on long enough. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Appreciate you being here. And yeah, again, thank you again, www.facebook.com/groups/food breakthrough. And again, join the group, be a part of it. It's an awesome place. All right, y'all, have a fabulous rest of your Wednesday. And you will look for an email and or the post from me about the challenge on Friday in the group. Okay. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.